Welcome to Age of Wonders 4 Improvement Tier List. Age of Wonders 4 is a 4X game that shares many similarities with games like Civ, Might and Magic, and Master of Magic. The macro can be overwhelming, so today we'll be talking about the pros and cons of province improvement in this game. My name is Russie, and let's begin. First, let's list out the basic types of improvements. We have mines that makes gold, research post that makes books, conduit that makes sky blue crystals, quarry that makes bricks, foresters that makes bricks and apples, farms that makes apples, fishery that makes moving apples, and lastly, huts that makes mini apples. Before we start, I should probably clarify what criteria are we going to be base this tier list off of. And the first criteria will be basing off what kind of resource are these improvements and their guild going to be making. And secondly, how often do they boost building productions or is required for certain buildings. For example, we can see that an academy requires a single research post. Third, we are also going to look at how many special province buildings are going to synergize well with them. For example, channeling tower synergizes quite well with conduits. Lastly, we also want to take a look at how spammable they are so we can really make use of these guild buffs as well as these special province effects. I do also want to talk about the boost for city structures. As we can see here, boost only provides a city structure with 30% of its production costs. Normally, this will be somewhere around 30 to 120 depending on what you are constructing, and in rare cases, let's say if you manage to boost a workers guild, you will get a free 250 production. First, let's talk about mines. As we can see here, mine makes these gold dusts. And when you have the merchants guild build in your city, know that you can only have one guild at a time per city, it will make even more gold dust. You can also see that there are quite few special improvements that synergizes well with gold. For example, the Great Foundry from the Homes of Crucible in the Materium section. Sadly, most of these special improvements comes really late in the game. When it comes to con, one of their main issue is that they are rather uncommon. Compared to farms, quarries, and even foresters, oftentimes, let's say we can look on our screen here, we are able to reach so many tiles, we can see only 2 out of say 9 tiles is able to be built with a mine on top of it. A lot of special province improvements are also labeled as mine, and this kind of help remedy the rarity issues of mines. Now, just as we mentioned, one of the major cons of mines is that they're rather uncommon. As we can see here, we are bordering with 9 different tiles, and only 2 of them are able to build mines. They are basically like the shiny Pokemon of the quarry world, and that makes them really hard to group together to really utilize the guild buffs and the special province buff that requires you to be adjacent to the special province itself, as we can see right here. Another major issue is that it never boosts any useful buildings. The only building that it ever boosts is a defensive building called Caltrop Stash. All in all, I rank mine as A tier. Mines would have been S tier if it was more spammable and have more early synergetic buildings. And this should have been at least an A plus tier if the Materium Empire Development perk gives something else other than plus 10 draft. Next, let's talk about research post. As we can see here, research post makes a lot of books. Books are pretty important. They are one of the best resources in the game. And as we can see here, if we manage to build a bookworm guild, it will make even more books. This research post is kind of similar to mines in terms of its rarity, but luckily, many special province buildings such as the School of Cryomancy are considered research posts. A lot of special province building also synergize really well with it. For example, we can see here from the Tomes of Necromancy, Soulwell have great synergy with Research Post since it will provide 3 mana for every adjacent research or conduit. At least 1 research post is required to build the academy. And if you have 1 built, you can see that they look like a really good holiday vacation spot with your family. Because of all those reasons, I believe research posts should belong in the A tier. Now the next building I will be talking about is the conduits. Now honestly, most of the things with conduits is really similar to that of the research post. It's also rare, it also has a lot of synergies with a lot of special buildings. For example, we can see here the channeling tower. As we just mentioned, when it comes to con, it has a similar issue as research post. It's rather rare and hard to group up and stack together. All in all, I will put conduit in the A tier because mana is pretty power. Next up, let's talk about my favorite province building, Quarry. Now, as you can see, Quarry makes bricks with hammers and pickaxe, and it's pretty good. It makes even more bricks if you have the Workers Guild. as we can see right here. Each quarry will make 10 more bricks, and it also has a lot of synergies with the special province buildings in the Materium section. For example, the Rune Carver's Cave or the Central Quarry. They are also very spammable, which makes them really easy to group up together. As we can see here, about half the tiles here are buildable with quarries. And you can really buff them with your special province buildings, and you can really buff them with your guild buildings, and you can really send your brick stockpile all the way to the moon. The extra bricks are also donated to mana buildings to boost them to make them even cheaper. And apparently you will need bricks to make more bricks to build buildings that makes even more bricks. One of the major cons of quarry is that bricks are not gold. I would rather have a gold brick made out of gold dust than bricks made out of stone. And sadly, you can't spend it outside of town because apparently other towns are not accepting bricks that are made and stamped outside of their city. I personally would put quarry in the S tier because I'm a brick fan, but it's really because it's very spammable and have very good synergies with the special province buildings as well as the guild building. And production in general is a very solid resource for spearheading your economy. Next, let's talk about foresters. Honestly, foresters is kind of like the lesser version of quarry since it makes 3 bricks and 2 apples. Now, luckily, a lot of buildings gets boosted by it. As we can see here, library gets boosted, storehouse gets boosted, and many more. And apparently, if you throw the wood into the ritual pyre, it turns into these sky blue crystals that are normally made in blue towers. Now, as for Con, as we can see here, the respective guild for Con is the Smith's Guild, and it only produces 5 food and 5 draft for each forester, which I consider to be pretty lame. This is a big downgrade from Workers Guild, and I really think that they need to buff draft for non-war people, or at least make it a 1-to-1 food conversion rate when you are not producing units. Secondly, when compared to quarry, it loses 2/5 of its production just to make apples. I don't think that is very nice because food is generally not a very powerful resource when compared to production, but you can get around that by building a ritual pyre and produce some blue crystals out of it. All in all, I consider Forester to be in the B tier. Only Pyre and Barbarian Forest of that tree synergize well with it. Smith Guild is just worse than the Bookworm and the Mage Guild, but at least Forester is more spammable and Pyre is early access. Forest of Sticks is cool, but plus 7 draft is only useful if you stack a lot of upkeep reduction and wage a lot of wars. But at the end of the day, you will still need shiny bricks to pay for those units. I know it's really tempting to do it for the events and boosts, but don't build farm just for boost and quests. The pros of farms is that a lot of the useful buildings such as stonemasons are boosted by farms. It also looks really nice, and they are also really easy to group, spam, and set up, but sadly they only make apples and only apples even with most special province buildings. Abbey is the only special province building that makes it make something other than apples. Let me emphasize that the 100 to 300 production a turn that you trade in from not building quarry, which will let you get ahead in infrastructure and fund at least 3 more outposts in the late game, is not worth enough for at least 2 or 3 more provinces that you can get out of spamming farms in the late game. Because of all of these reasons, I believe that farm belongs in the C tier. One of the last things we should talk about is fisheries. Now, as we can see here, water tiles are not very abundant on the map, and you don't really have a lot of chance to build those. Even though it has a very solid guild, as we can see here, called the Seafarers Guild, because it provides 12 total resources instead of just 10. Half of that is draft and food, which are not very useful resources. They are arguably worse versions of farms since there are fewer tiles to be placed on, and it gives no boost and no synergies with special province buildings. As a result, I give it a C- tier. Lastly, let's talk about huts. It doesn't have any synergies with any special buildings, nor does it have its own guild, but it unlocks a forger's market, which is nice to have, but it is not really needed. Because it only produces 2 food and does not have any synergy, I would rank this building in the F tier. All in all, the tier list is right here. You can see it. Just re-roll the clips if you forgot why they're there. And I suggest we would just spam quarries if you are not sure what to spam, since it will fit any kind of build. Prioritize spamming mines or conduits or research posts if you pick the right books with special province buildings for it and sets it up right. Use quarry to filter it out if you need to. Do farms, forester if you really want to, or just really want to roleplay. Do fisheries if you can't build anything else but huts, and spam huts if you really want to RP even harder to give yourself the caveman penalty. Make sure you at least build 1 conduit and 1 research post if you aren't focusing on those when your town is around 5 population. You want to be able to build the academy and the monolith. Now you know why Era won't let me voice, and I'll see you all on the next one.